How's it going on, everybody? IncogM here, back in another video. Obviously today we're doing our week 8 review and week 9 preview. I'm here with Tori.
Hey.
And welcome back to the Monotype Battle Association. Alright, this week was filled with some things, you know. Nothing below a 3-0, I believe, so that was exciting. Some definite RNG based wins in some ways, and then in other ways, you know, I think we could all agree if the game was played better, it would have probably been closer in some regards. But we'll get to those in a minute, of course. Alright, let's go ahead and just get on with the first one. First match was Eagleville versus Baltimore. Eagleville taking the 5-0 victory over the Baltimore Bisharps, while Jaden Midley only brought Greninja and Mandibuzz, so we don't have to talk about any of the other Pokemon, while Tep brought Armaldo, Excelgor, Fortress, Araquanid, Combay, and Heracross. Yes, you think I'm joking, but we'll watch the replay, I'm sure. Basically, Mandibuzz came in, Mandibuzz got killed by, I think, Stone Edge from Armaldo. Jaden got 5 hits with the Water Shuriken, while Tep missed the Stone Edge. And after that, well, it was the Greninja show. I should read that. I mean, that was really it. Like, there's not really much else I can say here. And yeah, there wasn't really much else that happened this match. It was just Greninja versus the world. Congratulations, dude. Like, I want to say more, but that's literally what happened. Mandibuzz got killed, and then it was just Greninja. And then Armaldo Stone Edge miss. That was it. This was probably one of the not so exciting matches, even though I was really looking forward to this match, but shit happens. Tep does fall in range at 6 losses of being out of playoff contention, and I think he either, it's like a slight chance that he is, but it's more 50-50 right now. But we'll get to all that playoff stuff when we talk about where everyone is in the standings. Moving on, though. Sub-Zero versus the Team Free Slurpees that everybody knows and loves. Sub-Zero won this match 3-0 and brought the Naganadel, Mega Garchomp, Gudra, Haxor, Zyger 50%, and the Latios Wall. Team Free Slurpees brought the Alolan Duck Trio, Skarmory, Ferrothorn, Heatran, Jirachi, and Mega Lucario, a recent acquisition. Hoo boy. You know, it really goes to show that and this is just me judging it from the match, not from my perspective of playing it, but just judging it from watching it back. You know, when a person uses all 4 of their moves and you have a Pokemon that can clearly basically cancel out that Pokemon, you really, really pay attention. Have in-game awareness, basically, is what this game really taught me. Or taught me while watching. Definitely was a weird game to watch, I guess. Definitely was not... Definitely, like, I don't, like, a lot of these games I have a really hard time describing until we get the Tori's matches where I can describe all of those perfectly, but I can't describe mine. But, no, seriously, this was just, a match of, you have to know what to do in the moment. You really have to think, you really have to take your time to think. Even if it takes you a little bit longer to make your moves, you still have to think through what you're doing. And obviously Sub-Zero had more of that conscious effort to really think about, okay, I need to do this here in order for this to happen. Well, Team Free Slurpee is still in their losing streak, unfortunately. Well, I mean, they broke it. But, I mean, you know, they're going back on their losing streak, obviously. And definitely could have done better this game. Even won this game, really. I guess Blue didn't want to keep McGear and at least try to have it for this game. And even could have won this game with Mega Lucario, but hindsight bias is a thing. But, you know, as well, just be aware of what your win cons are or what moves certain Pokemon can get. But I guess that really wraps up this match. Sub-Zero, congratulations on your win. And they have won 5 straight. And that is whew. I'll be honest, as the coach of that team, I wasn't expecting to get this far. I'll be real with you. We're moving on, though. We move on to Essex beating the Nova Noiverns. Essex bringing the Mega Galay, Tapu Lele, Metagross, Latios. That kind of rhymed. Mew and Victini. While Nova brought the Silvally, I forgot what type. Porygon 2, Mega Pidgeot, Ambipom, Blissey, and Diggersby. I think this really came down to getting Swords Dance set up, and then that was it. It was a wrap. That's all that really happened with this Mega Galley taking more lives this game. Definitely have more, I guess. It's a really good offensive Pokemon to say the least. Obviously, Tapu Lele getting its 2 kills. And Metagross getting a kill this game too. Like a lot of my matches, I really don't know what to say because a lot of them were good, but not like, oh, we have something to really talk about what happened in this match, because you will get to see it, and you'll get to see what I'm saying is basically what happened. Pokemon got killed, then Mega Gallade came in and cleaned up. That's what usually happens with Essex games, from a very basic standpoint. But even then, I think that Nova still could have won this match if I think Mega Pidgeot was dead at that point. But if even then, I think Mega Pidgeot was still alive if he had Scarf Diggersby, this, that, the third, basically. You know, there's a lot of scenarios where this could have gone in King's favor, but it didn't, unfortunately, and Essex won the match and is now back, you know, to winning, of course, after losing last week. But definitely an interesting match, to say the least. Definitely think that things could have gone differently, though. But congratulations to the Essex Ice Drills for their victory, while moving on to 6-2. And now, you guys get to see the most controversial result of this week, I should really say. And yes, it is correct. Galashiels have finally fallen. Tori, take it away.
Yes, Twin Leaf bringing the upset, getting that 4-0 victory, bringing the Mega Charizard Y, Celesteela, Hawlucha, Tornadus Therian, and Lando Therian, neither of which showed up to the party, and Gyarados. Galashiels bringing the Mamoswine, Garchomp, Hippowdon, Mega Cambript, Gliscor, and Nidoking. So, yeah, this was something for sure. I think definitely first turn Galashiels revealing the Dragonium Z was definitely a weird thing to bring. I think probably they were expecting a Dragonite lead, I guess, or for Twin Leaf to bring Dragonite. But I mean, hindsight is 2020. Probably should have brought, you know, Rockium or Electrium Z on against Twin Leaf. So that was, you know, kind of funny the first turn. Definitely the getting that flinch. Twin Leaf getting the flinch on the Mega Cambript against the Charizard Y. That was, you could say maybe that it was the defining moment of the match. I mean, the Cambript was in the sun and didn't have a chance to do anything.
It was definitely... I'm sorry, Tori. If you want to continue, I'm sorry.
Well, you know, that's like the, you know, the obvious, like, oh god, you know, you watching the match is like a big thing. But I think after that, it's clear that Galashiels was, you know, knocked off balance. And after that, I mean, you know, tried to salvage it, but I don't think salvage it the right, or was trying to salvage it the wrong way, bringing out the Gliscor against Celesteela instead of just trying to bulk up with getting a +4 attack with Sword Dance, setting up agility, instead wasting a turn using that. Couldn't quite manage it. The Gliscor didn't end up killing the Celesteela. Celesteela didn't even die at the end of the match. Just in the end, I think once the flinch happened, it wasn't, you know, the defining moment in that if the flinch didn't happen, Galashiels would have won. I think that after that, Galashiels just couldn't, you know, get their act back together.
Yeah, definitely really showed that a flinch can mean a lot. You know, I will agree, it definitely made a difference, but you have to understand that, one, there's a bunch of different scenarios that this game could have played out in, and two, that instead of just going for the +4, since you're gonna Thunderfang anyway, would I assume, you know, you could have Thunderfang the first time when he hit you with, no. My main point is that getting that +4 would have probably been better, I guess, and then you're gonna Thunderfang anyway, so I don't think Grizzly would have protected then, but he could have, you know, that could have still messed you up. There's a bunch of different things that could have happened in this game that could have went differently. There's a bunch of different things you could have brought. You could have brought Waterium. You could have brought, like with Seismitoad, you could have brought Rockium. I don't know why you would Z-move out right in front of a Gyarados when you're -1. What is that supposed to do? What was that really meant to do is my question. Even more to the point, this game could have gone 1,000 different ways and it went this way. A flinch definitely impacted how the game could have gone, but I think this was just poor planning on Galashiels' part. For the first time, I can say that because it was actually displayed. You know, I challenge you not to bring the extra drill again, I guess, from last week's video, if that's what you got out of that, but I definitely think it would have been a better bring this week. But yeah, poor planning is basically how I sum this battle up. That's really it from me.
Alright. Moving on. Congratulations to Twin Leaf, though. That was good. You done good.
Yeah, alright, now moving on. And I thought my little... something came up at the bottom of my screen. But it's whatever. But moving on, like my little toolbar or whatever. Well, toolbar, start menu, whatever it's called. Anywho, moving on. We had Orange Ink versus Garden City.
Oh, yes. Orange Ink actually playing this week. No salt at all, I swear. Orange Ink gained the 4-0 victory, bringing Klefki, definitely the MVP of the match, Tapu Bulu, Alolan Ninetales, Azumarill, Clefable, and Tapu Koko. Garden City bringing the Tyranitar, Mega Dancy, Nihilego, words, it's fine, Caracosta, Shuckle, and Lycanroc midday. So, Garden City didn't prep for Klefki. That much was clear. It just was let whatever counters they had die before Klefki came to the field. After that, it was basically Klefki just sitting there, had recyclable Ipapa Berry and Calm Mind and Flash Cannon, and it was basically it. If Garden City had brought a fire move or maybe taunt or something, I think Garden City probably should have predicted that Klefki was going to come, as it is a steel type. Just didn't happen. And that seemed to be the defining part of the match, aside from also leaving the Tyranitar in front of a Tapu Bulu. Yeah, that's basically it.
There was really nothing much to really go off of with some of these matches. But seriously though, not bringing Taunt to a match where there's a lot of Pokemon that could easily set up sweep was definitely something I noticed. And not bringing Macargo, even though there are two water types, like I get it. You know, water types are definitely gonna make you not bring in Macargo. But you have a team, and you can build a team around Macargo where you can get rid of those water types and then send it in to do something about said Pokemon. And that could have been really easy to do. But I guess, you know, this is still Panther's first league. There's always room to grow, of course. But definitely this loss will definitely be a shining reminder about you really have to always have coverage, not just like one type of coverage, but always have another kind, or at least bring Taunt. When there's a bunch, when this team has Mega Mawile, has Klefki, has even bulk of Tapu Bulu, Azumarill being the biggest one, even Clefable having Cosmic Power and even other moves. Bring a Taunt when you need it. Not all the time, but you know, this is definitely a match where it's definitely needed. But congratulations to Orange Ink on their victory, of course. Oh, yes. And I'm glad to see them playing again. But move on to the last match, of course, but it really didn't happen. Jota takes the 3-0 victory, forfeit win over Rochester, unfortunately. And like I said last week with Orange Ink, if Rochester forfeits again, they would get, you know, the coach would have to be replaced, because I have a 3-strike rule when it comes to forfeiting wins. But Rochester has midterms and everything else, so, you know, it's understandable that needs more focus right now. So that, you know, like there's a reason behind this at least, and I was told, so I was like, okay, that's fine, you know. But still, Jota gets 3-0 victory. So we move on to the predictions, or well, not the predictions, but the review of our predictions, I guess you could say. Both went 4-2 because we both predicted the same teams to win, and that's going to happen next week too. But anywho, both at 28-20, and you know, we're still tied. Not really much else to say. So
Just like a relationship, we both win.
God, you know what? She's right. Anywho, let's move on to the standings. I already moved on to it and then Tori had said that, but no. So Galashiels at 7-1 plus 13. They have already clinched. Essex has clinched 2. And this was just after reviewing everything, and I had noticed that they can only go down to 5 losses, and it's more unlikely than not. And also, they wouldn't be knocked out of playoff contention because they beat Nova, who is the only other team that has 5 losses that has a chance to slip out of playoff contention as well. So, with that being said, Essex has now also clinched, so congratulations. Jota's at 5-3 plus 15, while I am at 5-3 plus 9. Of course, I am below Jota because of the plus 6 rule. So if you know, if they had actually played, it could have been a lot wider of a margin, but it's only plus 6. So we both each won by 3, so that's why it still stayed the same. Orange Ink jumps over Garden City at 4-4 plus 1, while Garden City is at 5-3 plus 1. Having the same differential, despite Garden City having the higher record, they are below Orange Ink because of, obviously, head-to-head. Eagleville rounds out with Twin Leaf at 4-4. Eagleville being plus 5 and Twin Leaf being plus or minus 0. Nova 3-5 minus 10 being one of the last few teams that could actually try and move into playoffs. Well, Baltimore can do it, but it would take a lot to move in. And at 2-6 minus 14. 2 teams that are already eliminated are at 1-7. Team Free Slurpees and Rochester Wreck Bags at 1-7. Each, while Free Slurpees are at minus 22 and Wreck Bags are at minus 17. So let me read you guys the playoff scenarios for this week. Galashiels just need to win against Team Free Slurpees and Sub-Zero. Spoiler alert, they play Free Slurpees this week. And they would clinch the number 1 seed because they would have beaten damn near every team and no other team would be able to jump them. Essex clinch, as I said, they need to win the rest of their games to get a high spot. If Galashiels were to lose the rest of their games and Essex were to win with high differential per game, they would be able to get the number 1 seed if they are plus 6 or above. Everyone knows that rule. Jota, Sub-Zero, and Garden City, all they have to do is win and they're in because they would need 6 wins. Yes, the number is going down to 6, and that's why Essex had clinched, but now, they can't be knocked out of that range. Obviously, as I said, those 3 teams I just mentioned, Jota, Sub-Zero, and Garden City, can be knocked out because they can go down to 6 losses. Which, depending on which one gets all the way down there and has lower differential, they can obviously be knocked out. And that could allow Baltimore to step up if something were to happen. But that is an extreme case. Orange Ink just can win and they knock out Nova out of playoff contention. Yes, 6 losses is going to be the new number. Baltimore still has a slight, tiny chance, but it's not very big. But Orange Ink has to avoid losing. 6 losses can be really bad for them. If they get down to 6 losses and things don't look their way, they can also be knocked out of playoff contention. But winning this week would be better for them because they can knock out a team. So they want to avoid losing at all costs. Twin Leaf just needs to keep winning. If Twin Leaf starts losing, Nova can still overtake them technically because Nova actually owns the head-to-head over them despite, Nova's below them because of the plus 6 rule, but if Nova were to start winning and Twin Leaf starts losing, that's where things get really hectic. Eagleville needs to just avoid losing. They need to win 2 straight games because their last game is against Galashiels, and I'm not saying Galashiels will win that game, but I'm not saying Eagleville is going to exactly have the best time fighting that team. Last but certainly not least, Nova needs to win against Orange Ink, and they'll still be in contention. They have a good tiebreaker against Twin Leaf, but if they lose, they are officially out of playoff contention, and I think Baltimore is too low of differential, but there is a really, really tiny chance that they can make it, but I didn't really type it out on my phone. But those are your playoff scenarios for this week, and everything else will be explained next week if things go a certain way, or whatever. However they go, you'll still get an explanation of things. So, my voice being tired of reading, we move on to trades and free agency. Finally, Orange Ink, instead of just jumping on the trade last week as it was made, they come back this week and decide, you know what, we're going to drop Gardevoir for Magearna, so Magearna is back into somebody's hands. Now, yeah, back into somebody's hands, and now it's Ben's. So now he is a horrific team. Moving on, we have Baltimore versus Garden City as our first matchup to talk about. We are both picking Garden City. Now this is a weird one. Garden City has the type advantage, has everything in their favor, but this could very well be a really bad loss for Garden City because of Mega Scizor, because of the way that Baltimore's been playing. I will say that I do help some teams with, just battling, just helping them mock battle, whatever have you, and just building a really, really bad team, mind you. Just like a team that won't be brought, but definitely some Pokemon, like some of those sets could be brought to the matchup and everything else. And after battling with Garden City a little bit, it's definitely evident that Mega Scizor is a big problem. Robombi is a big problem. Running Charty Berry and any of those Pokemon can definitely help them and definitely help facilitate a win for Baltimore. And Heracross being Scarf could also be a big problem for Garden City in general. Garden City just needs to refocus in on what got them to this point of 5-3. How they got their 5 wins and what really they are good at. Setup, sweeping, and making sure some Pokemon are dead before they try such. Getting rid of the Fortress with Sturdian can set up rocks. Actually using Lycanroc to taunt that Pokemon and kill it would be good. Also having Lycanroc at good enough HP to kill something like Scizor would be also really good. Maintaining that Focus Sash if need be. And then after that, set up rocks and you should be fine. But things could just not work out in your favor, as we know Baltimore could have defog on something and he can even just prevent rocks by having Rapid Spin or whatever have you. But this game literally can determine whether or not you can win the rest of your games or can really be a downer to you. Play it correctly, Pantros, and this could be a really good win for you in the long run. Tori?
Yeah, that's basically I definitely think that Garden City has been showing good stuff over the past several weeks. I think that Baltimore, though, has mons that could definitely be annoying for Garden City to deal with. I think Garden City has the tools and the ability to beat Baltimore. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot on, there's kind of not, I mean, there's a lot on the line, technically speaking, because, playoffs and everything, you don't want to start losing all your games and fall out of playoffs, but obviously, Garden City, you got this, I assume. We move on to what I would call the match of the week. Why do I call it the match of the week if it's including myself, right? But from an objective standpoint, this is the match of the week. You have a team that is on a 5-game winning streak versus a really good team in the Essex Extra Drills. We're both picking Sub-Zero. Now, from a objective perspective, I was going to pick Essex, right? Essex has been playing fantastically and has just been a team to fight. But over the past few weeks, it has been consistent 3 to 4 O's for Sub-Zero, I believe. I think it's either been all 3 O's or like a 4-0 in there at some point. But just straight up wins, and Sub-Zero doesn't look like they're going to be slowing it down anytime soon. They seem like a team that could make a late season push. They could be another team that could beat the Galashiels, if I may say so myself. But the thing is that Essex and Galashiels are the 2 hardest matchups for this team coming up, and then even Garden City is a pretty hard matchup if you ask me. Do I think that Essex has the chance to win? This will be a close game, and I definitely think Essex can win. But Sub-Zero could come prepared for everything this team could bring. So, in my opinion, I'll call it a 1-0 and leave it at that. I think that this will be a close game. Essex and Sub-Zero have been playing great, and this will be a really good test to see which team is doing better and to see if, is Sub-Zero for real? After 5 straight wins, can they beat 2 teams in a row? Can they keep their win streak going? Beat a top team and then beat another top team next week. We'll see how this week goes, of course, so I'm picking them because this is a very big test, in my opinion, from an objective standpoint. Tori?
Yeah, I definitely think that Sub-Zero is going to play super hard this week, especially because clinching playoffs is on the line. Definitely be important. I think it'll be definitely a close match. I think both teams have been playing excellently over the past several weeks. But yeah, I think Sub-Zero is gonna edge it out. It's gonna definitely bring something that maybe Essex wouldn't predict. I can't really think of anything right offhand, but I mean, Sub-Zero has been very creative in the move sets, and yeah.
Yep. So now we move on to the next matchup I'll be talking about first. Of course, we have Galashiels versus Team Free Slurpees. I really don't think we have to really explain this high key. And I hate saying that every time we get to Blues matches, but it feels that way. So, we're predicting Galashiels to win. Now, this should be very obvious to anybody who knows these two teams. However, this could be a really good matchup for Team Free Slurpees to be like, hey, fuck you, and then win this match somehow. I don't know. Maybe Blue will actually try a little bit harder to win, but this is a very, very, and I mean very, big disadvantage that is not in his favor. Galashiels has a lot of great Pokemon, has the Mega Camera that could easily just sit in front of this team for days on end and just play checkers while they're trying to play chess for some reason. Or even bring the other Pokemon like the Seismitoad. I definitely think Mega Lucario is going to be an important Pokemon in this match if Team Free Slurpees plans to, I don't know, try and win. So, with that being said, I'm still calling Galashiels to win this match, and it should be an easy win for them, I assume. Tori?
Yeah, I think Galashiels, I mean, to Blue's credit, Blue might be able to pull out at least, like, get down the differential down a little bit. But Galashiels definitely has, you know, both the team and also just the battling skill to be able to, you know, take down Slurpees with, you know, I don't want to say ease, but, you know, ease.
Yeah, just given how this season has gone for Blue, it just feels like a lot of these matches aren't really coin flips. They're more like one team already has the advantage. It's up to Blue to try hard. But yeah, moving on to the last three matches, we have Eagleville versus Jota. And I guess this is kind of an upset, but I mean, they're kind of in like two positions where they're almost equals in a way, because Jota was the better team at first, and then Jota started losing and not playing so well. But Tori, tell them why we picked Eagleville.
Okay, well, Eagleville does have the type advantage this week, but that doesn't mean anything, really. But, I mean, Eagleville definitely, while, you know, there was some RNG to play last week against TEP, there was still, you know, Eagleville had the type disadvantage and was still able to pull out a 5-0 victory. Whether if that says more about TEP than it does Eagleville, we could debate about that. But I think Eagleville has definitely some tricky Pokemon that could come in and, you know, wreck Jota's day. That's basically all I can really say about it. I think Eagleville has been playing, you know, fairly consistently. I mean, though a 4-4 record might not exactly show that. I think Eagleville has shown over the course of the league, this league, and in past leagues, that they're able to, you know, take advantage of what the opponent has brought before them and can take the day.
Yeah, Eagleville definitely seems like even with the type advantage, though we all know that doesn't matter in this league for, you know, a lot of reasons, we definitely can see that Jota is, you know, Jota's been off and on each week, as we can clearly tell, and I think that with the type advantage, Eagleville should definitely have this game in their favor, but Jota can also pull out some really dumb shit and just wreck Eagleville's day. But I don't know. I like Jaden in this matchup, and I think he has a really easy victory here. But again, we say it every time we see a type advantage. It really doesn't matter, because half the time, the type that we think should win doesn't win. And, you know, we have several examples of that from this season alone. But, moving on, we have
another
another type advantage. But we definitely picked the team that we totally thinks is gonna win, because they totally don't have the advantage here.
Yep.
Twinleaf versus Rochester. We both picked Twinleaf. Tori, tell them why you picked Twinleaf.
Well, aside from the Landorses on Twinleaf's team, I think Twinleaf has definitely, I mean, they beat not Rochester, they beat Galashiels last week. I mean, that has to say something. I think Twinleaf, like, when they're in it to win it. So I think Twinleaf's going to assess what Rochester could bring to the table because, there's the obvious type advantage that Rochester has in their favor. Twin Leaf is going to bring things to deal with what Rochester could bring. There is, of course, the potential that Rochester could, rise from the ashes like a phoenix and beat Twin Leaf, and I think Twin Leaf definitely needs to play it careful. I think Twin Leaf is still going to take it.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough matchup for Twin Leaf, and I definitely say that with a lot of confidence, because even with the Landorus's and even having Thunderous Therian, which I think has Volt Absorb always, is definitely going to be a matchup where we're going to see Rochester definitely put their best foot forward. I mean, this could be a very great game for Rochester to win. Even if they can't make playoffs, they can still fuck up people's chances to make playoffs, and that's very important to note. With these 1-7 teams, they could definitely fuck up how things could end up. Now, do I think Grizzly's going to exactly lose this match? No, it's going to be a close match, however. It's definitely going to be something where Grizzly has to use his head more often than not, and definitely has to play to his advantage. He has to play with his ground types. He has to play with using different moves. Even having Cell Steel with a Wakan Berry and Earthquake could work, and even having other moves definitely could be to his advantage, to say the least. But, yeah, definitely think Grizzly's going to win, but this will be a close game and definitely a tough game for him to win. Rochester definitely has the tools to make this a competitive game. We move on to the last match, and we have the 4-4s, the teams that are kind of sitting there on the side saying, man, I want to make playoffs, but they don't know how to.
Yeah.
We got Orange Ink versus Nova. We both picked Orange Ink. I think I said this in the playoff picture thing, that you don't want to lose your last 3 games or lose at all right now. Oh, wait, no. Nova's supposed to be 3-5. That's why. Okay. Sorry about that. That's a fuck up on my end. That's why I was looking at it strangely still. But I'll edit it in post. You guys will see 3-5 anyway. But main point to be said here, Orange Ink doesn't want to lose. Nova doesn't want to lose. But Tori, tell them why we picked Orange Ink in the first place.
Yes. I think Orange Ink, despite the couple forfeits, I think Orange Ink over the course of this, the course of the league has shown better battling ability than Nova. I think Orange Ink has definitely more options, both power-wise and utility-wise. I think, as we saw last week, Orange Ink's ability to use Clef Key and use it very, very well could be an advantage, especially because against a normal type team with having Clef Key, Mega Mawile, and now Magearna could be just sit there and be just a steel ball of annoyingness just right there. I think Nova, hasn't been playing the best. I think Nova needs to definitely bring coverage and like a fire moves. Do that, please. Don't disappoint me. But I think Orange Ink, they've got it. I mean, I think that they have a team that could definitely bring the herd to Nova, and has just more options. But basically.
Yeah, I think that even Orange Ink definitely needs to win, and they're definitely trying to turn around their season, and definitely trying to turn around the fact that they had 2 straight forfeits, and I was kind of like, hey, don't do it again, please. I will have to drop you. Picking up Magearna definitely shows offensive prowess. Having the 2 Tapus up Mega Mawile and Magearna, it's kind of scary, and I'm glad I didn't have to face that week 1. But my main point is that Orange Ink has to win. They have to. They don't have many options or choices in the matter. You have to win. You have to play up. You have to win. Because you don't want to end up outside of the bubble and losing because, you fucked up. Obviously, Nova doesn't want to end up, losing a bunch of their games either, but shit happens, man. Nova definitely could definitely win and still make and still try to, make playoffs, but I just think Orange Ink has better offensive Pokemon, of course. And this will be the game to tell me which team is really, serious about making playoffs or serious about being in this league, I guess. But as you guys know, I'm picking Orange Ink. Offense always trumps. this team, or beating Nova at least, you know, offensive Pokemon at least. We saw Mimikyu, we saw Mega Gallade. We've seen a lot of Pokemon beat Nova's team that had a lot of offensive prowess, and I definitely think that's going to happen again. Excuse me. But moving on, we are done here for the Monotype Battle Association Week 8 review and Week 9 preview. Next week, you guys will hear playoff scenarios again, and you guys know how we do it here. And like I said, at the end of the season, on the Week 11 review and playoff picture, we will definitely be doing what Pokemon was like the MVP of the season, like KD wise. I'm pretty sure it's still gonna be Excadrill, but I could always be proven wrong. In these next 3 weeks, we could have a Pokemon 603 3 times in a row, and it could overtake that Pokemon. I don't know. It'd be cool. I mean, it'd be unexpected, but it'd be cool, I guess. But thank you guys for watching. If you did like this, leave a like, comment, and also subscribe today. For me and Tori, we're both gonna say goodbye.
Bye.
And we'll talk to you guys later.